Oh my god. We're back. Thank you very much for crewing up with me again. Because without you, this is just a piece of wood. It's not what it is, which is the gaming Galleon. I'm Cap'n Raz, and I'm bubbling for adventure. I don't know about you. Absolutely bubbling for adventure. Why? Well, because we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects in the known universe. We're going to be talking about Dungeons & Dragons. We're also going to be playing a Dungeons & Dragons game, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Hillsfar for the Nintendo Entertainment System. We've got one hell of a chest full of surprises, billowing over with surprises, in fact. And, of course, the bag that tells no tales, where you, my friends, get to do a little work for me and send me a question. So lots going on. This is the Gaming Galleon. It's a pirate ship, and it doesn't sail the seven seas, no, my friends. It sails the Silicon Seas. And this week, we have the navigator set up for a very far-off, very regal, and beautiful country called Hillsfar. And that's not on planet Earth. Oh, no. Sometimes the ship has to go through some portals. I don't know how they do it. I ordered this navigator from China about 15 years ago, before all of those taxes and levies and regulations got in there and started, mucking up all the customs. So, I'm just happy it's not billowing up, bursting into flames. I don't ask how they do it. I just set it where it needs to go, and it gets us there. But I want to talk to you about Dungeons & Dragons and Hillsfar and how it plays into my personal history. I mean, I don't want to get into all the dorky characters I played over the years. I spent some time around the old table rolling dice, okay? But I will show you some interesting artifacts that have to do with the D&D that have been sitting in the hold for many and many voyages. And I think they apply here. So let's take a look, okay? This could be the oldest game we have sitting in the hold. I mean, I don't know for sure. And if I had to bet my life on it, I'd maybe say maybe not. But it doesn't get much older than this. And I want to show you this. It's so old that I keep it in this little plastic thing that I pretend is airtight, but in no way is. I found this one day at a Goodwill of all places in another box, marked Dungeons & Dragons, for a whopping $10. The box itself, it just had some cool artwork. It was kind of like second edition stuff. But in the box, along with some other just random minutia, D&D minutia, was this. Now take a look at this. What does it say here? We have Dungeons & Dragons rules for fantastic medieval war games. Okay? And another thing that's important to see here is down at the bottom. It says published by Tactical Studies Rules. And when I saw that, opening up this box years ago, I really looked at that because you may not know this, but the creator of Dungeons & Dragons, Gary Gygax, their company was called TSR, or it was called TSR in the 80s when I was a kid. I'd never seen it called Tactical Studies Rules. And that led me to believe that this is very old. Very old. Now, not so old that it's original. I mean, how do I guess that? Because you see up here it says, I know that's foggy, but it's original collector's edition. So obviously this isn't a first edition. But this is about a 7th edition, somewhere around there. 4th or 7th edition of the very first Dungeons & Dragons. I mean, there's a lot of editions. We're in, this is years and years later, decades later, there's been 5 editions of Dungeons & Dragons. And these are very, well-made books with ornate drawings, very thick, and then all these expansions. And then you have these things that look like, you'd pick them up from, like, you know, a Hare Krishna at an airport. And this was it at the time. You got reference sheets here, and then you have these 3 little books. This expansion that was just an extra, but this is how it was. You got that little box, you got this little reference sheet thing. Looks like a manual filled with maybe some terminology, some, you know, just that's old school for you there. Just a bunch of tables. God, that's blown out. I'm sorry. A lot of white going on here. And then you have these books. You know, you got Men and Magic. You got Monsters and Treasures. Let's take a look at one of the monsters in here. These books are maybe 25, 30 pages each. You know, a monster there. He's blown out because I can't properly white balance the camera. And you got the Underworld and Wilderness. Okay. So yeah, what does this go for these days? You know, probably a couple $100. But I mean, the history here is what's really neat. Imagine trying to sit people down here in 2016 and trying to get them to play this. Because this is it. This is it. What do you need? A pencil, papers, and dice. And you could theoretically play this. Alright, so there you go. That's it for that. Real quick, I'm going to show you the Nintendo games, that the Dungeons and Dragons games that are on the Nintendo, because there were 4 of them. And we're going to be playing Hillsfar. Now, Hillsfar is the last one that was made, and it's hard to come by. You know, we're in the age when pretty much any Nintendo game is getting hard to come by, but I'll show you some of the ones we have. We have every Dungeons and Dragons game that was made for the Nintendo Entertainment System sitting in the hole. We have them here, and I just thought you'd get a kick out of seeing them. We've got Heroes of the Lance. This is by far the most common one, considered probably the hardest to play, the ugliest to play. Cool thing about it is if you like Dragonlance, this is not gonna. I'm not gonna screw with the autofocus today, so screw it. I'm sorry. If you read Dragonlance, you get to control every character from Dragonlance. So the idea of playing a 2D platformer with Raceland or like Tasselhoff is kind of neat, but you know, better on paper than in practice. But I mean, beautiful artwork. It's a beautiful looking box there. Got a couple of Dragon Knights there. I think the next game that came out was Pool of Radiance. And Pool of Radiance is probably the best of the 4. It's just an open world RPG kind of thing with turn-based combat that it almost plays like chess. You've got your party, you can see them, you can see the monsters, and you all kind of move toward one another and start attacking or cast spells, what have you. And it's also gold in the back, which tells you that it's got a battery backup. So that's pretty cool. Now this one, I kind of like all these games, honestly. Heroes of the Lance, maybe not, but Pool of Radiance definitely holds its own. Hillsfar, a lot of people hate it. It's got some issues for better or worse, but I do like it. This one is probably the most playable, and the one I was most excited to pick up. It's called Dragon Strike. And again, this is in the Dragonlance era. Got a couple of dragons fighting there, and a knight, a dragon knight on the dragon. Basically, this is a shoot 'em up, surprisingly enough. And you play as dragons. There's even a password system, so you can continue on, and you can decide where in the world of Solace? Is that right? I don't remember where Dragonlance takes place. Where you want to attack. So that's pretty cool. Not a bad game. But we're going to go with Hillsfar today. I feel like Hillsfar is the most arable, the most interesting to look at, because there's a lot of options. You're going to be surprised, okay? Now you have to give this game a little bit of give it the benefit of the doubt. This was an old game. But take a look at, you got to use your imagination. It's Dungeons and Dragons, okay? Dungeons and Dragons. You have to come with an imagination if you're going to enjoy these kind of games. All right? There's no graphics for you. I mean, there's graphics here, but Dungeons and Dragons, there's no graphics. There's no artificial intelligence. You have to kind of be there, all right? So let's take a look at how the Nintendo does Dungeons and Dragons in Hillsfar. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Hillsfar for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Has anyone seen my harp? Let me don the old harp of transition here, and we'll get started, okay? All right. Onward to adventure. All right, so you're not going to hear any audio out of the box because we're at our campsite. Cool thing about the campsite is this is where you make your team. Actually, I don't think you make a team. You don't make a team, but you pick your character. And you can build a character. There are different classes. You can roll your guy. Now, I've made a guy, and I'll load him up. His name's Reyes. Oh, yeah, I want to get back in here. The music's a little hot. So we'll stop in here. I would just want to make it clear that I got to make my guy, and I made a cleric. Now, for those of you who don't know what a cleric is, clerics tend to be healers. Okay, I always like to play somebody who's kind of like a man of God. I don't know why. I just feel like it doesn't get more heroic than that. And I really like being a healer because you get to kind of see the big picture. All right, now he's loaded, so we're gonna leave the campsite. And we're just out. We're a small ride toward the city of Hillsfar, which is a giant castle town. So let's make our way there and see what kind of trouble we can get into. All right. Now this is where things get rough with this game, and why a lot of people don't like it is the horse travel, which is what we're about to do here. It's a small ride. We're in the north from the castle, and we're going to be riding south on our horse, okay? Here we go. Oh my god. Now you see how slow this is. They probably could have made this better. Well, they definitely could have. Oh, make it over. Whew. And I am controlling if the horse jumps, but it is not easy. And what I mean by that is this ain't no Mega Man, okay? It's going to give you trouble. Yes, we've reached the city of Hillsfar. I would like to enter. Okay. I know my way around it. So here we are. We're in the city. As you can see, it's cool to see how much this game changes. It's 6 p.m. at night. And, for you RPGers out there who know D&D, you can take a look at my stats. You can see my class. And it looks like I'm level 5. So I've played this game a little bit. Let's take a look. Let's run around. And as you can see, it's telling me everything that's around me. And that's when you have to start using your imagination. You have to think about, you have to look at your right and not see, I don't know, your dog who's sitting on the couch next to you. You have to see that door, an old ornate wood door, and I can't open it. In fact, any of these doors we see, you can try and open, but I'm not going to do that. You want to know why? Because I'm a freaking cleric, and clerics are boring. We're nice guys. But if you played, say, a thief, which you can do in this game, I mean, anyone you can do it. And really, am I in a dead end here? The door is not locked. Do you wish to enter? No, I do not wish to enter. Because there's law in this town. Where I'm headed to is, it's 7 at night. What do you say we head to the bar? I'm a little thirsty. Am I going the right way, though? I think it's down here. I just felt like I was getting caught up over here. Yeah, there we go. Now, I know there's a bar near the shrine. The shrine is just south of me, that kind of museum there. I want to go there. Tavern. Yes, I'd like to enter the tavern. So let's go in here. Take a seat at the tavern. You have entered the Hydra's Den. You will find your guild in the city southwest corner of the city near the cemetery. So that's good. That's where you get quests. And depending on what kind of class you are, is where in the city they'll send you. A great thing about hanging out in the bar here... Oh, what? What, do I have to go to the guild? I don't really want to do that. Oh, okay, here we go. So this is neat. Watch this. So I have all these options here, but I'm in a tavern. Things are going on all around me, despite my decisions. Now I'm a healer, so now you see this? The maid spills her drink of beverages all over you accidentally. Let's talk to her. Buy a beverage, buy a meal, buy her a cider, and complain to her, because I got spilled out. Oh, but just before I'm about to complain, a burly fighter rumbles up to the tavern, orders a beverage, and bumps you on the way to his seat. Oh, I'm not dealing with that guy. I'm going to complain to her about it. What service? You haven't bought anything. Alright, so I've got some options that only a cleric can do. You see this? So you can chant, you can donate to the poor, give free healings. Let's do that. Gee, thanks. I think I just did that to anybody. You notice a mage in the back of the tavern performing illusions. So you gotta love how they just throw out these images randomly. Very much the way a good dungeon master would do if you were playing Dungeons & Dragons. Let's chant a little bit. Hey, you shut up over there. Alright, so we'll leave a tip and I'm not gonna leave a tip. She spilled it all over me. Someone playing darts in the corner accidentally pierces the ear of the person next to you with a dart. The person next to you at the tavern sneezes helplessly. Can I heal them? Gee, thanks. Alright, I'm out of here. Leave the tavern. Thank you. Alright, so let's try... Where are we at here in time? Give me a second. So we had 10 minutes of monologue. 10 minutes of gameplay. When do we go to the booty segment? So we're 20 minutes in. Anybody timing this show? Do we have 5 minutes? Is it 15 minutes? It's half an hour. Yeah, we got 5 minutes here. All right. So let's take a look at my shrine, the Shrine of Tempest, and this is where I live. This is where I can gain back health, and this is where I can gain quests. Oh, sorry. That's not what I meant to do. Get in there. Welcome to the shrine. How may I help you? So let's just rest. You slept peacefully. It's now 4 a.m. I'm going to sleep a little longer. Alright, it's 11 a.m. Good. And now let's leave the guild. And I've got time to do this. We'll come back to the guild for a quest later. But before we do that... Whoa, what happened here? Who are you? Oh. Cool. I didn't even know this store existed. Buy a healing spell. For 500 pieces, a cure critical wound spell shall be cast upon you. Well, no. How much money do I have? It's kind of lame they're not telling me that. I'm going to buy a healing potion now. Alright, so now I'll leave. Oh, talk to the owner. What's he say? The owner says Tarl is the arm wrestling champion. Fair enough. Now, how much money did I have? Let's see. Gold, GP, 270. So I spent about half my gold on that. Oh. Get out of here. Sorry. It's not even... Okay, it says right in front of you. You're a healer. You're an idiot. Sorry. I didn't even know that guy was in town. So yeah, there are all kinds of nooks and crannies in this town that you just don't know about. And admittedly, it's been a while since I've played Hillsfar. But let's go up here. It's around noon. And I want to show you this because this is really exciting. This is, in my opinion, what makes this game cool. We've got about 3 minutes. So, in front of you, target shooting. Okay? Alright, there we go. So, the best marksman in Hillsfar has a score of 900. And if you beat it, you get 50 gold. And his name is Maxer. Now, we're not even on the board yet. Welcome to Archery. The cost will be 10 gold pieces. Do you wish to take part in this exciting event? Absolutely. Will this just be a press session? Nah, we'll go for it. Take a sling and throw 10 rocks on the course. Okay. Throwing it. Boom. Oh, come on. I hit that. Oh, I probably missed that one. You're shooting fairly well today. Should I throw a rock at him? What do you think would happen? See, this is what many people would do, is they would throw rocks at him. And, I don't know, they probably get thrown out or something. I'm not going to do that. Oh. Let's go for the bird, though. Ah! Well, how was I to know he was coming? We may beat Maxer's score. Didn't he have a 500? I think he did. Oh, man, another bird. Another bird. There's no way. I'll never hit it. What do I got? I got one more rock. We want to wait for the bird? Should we try? We'll wait for the bird for this last one. Okay. So how's everybody doing today? Everybody enjoying the Dungeons and Dragons game? No? Come on, look. It can't all be run and gun every week, all right? Give me a break. Where's the bird, dude? Oh, here we go. Oh, Jesus. I blew it. All that wait for nothing. All right. So we got a score of 700. How did that do? Very good. You please clear. Oh, only third? What did Maxer have? I don't remember. All right. Well, we did okay. I don't know how much. What did we get? How much money? I think we got somewhere around 330, maybe. All right. So we're done with this. I do not. I'm done. Thank you. So isn't that neat? All right. Let's come back. Where's the heart? Okay, we're coming back. We'll stay right there in Hillsfar for now. But I mean, isn't that like? Did you expect something like that in a D&D game? That's what excites me about this. Is it's almost like Skyrim. Am I overselling it? Probably, but I mean, the game was made 25 years ago. What are you expecting? And this game gets terrible rap. I think it's really the horse racing, because you have to do the horse travel is very integral to you getting out there. There is a whole countryside, which you saw earlier, and we'll maybe do a little horse riding. We'll ride the countryside a little bit, get into a little trouble, but let's do that later. For now, a lot going on in here, so let's get started. Okay, so it's almost practically dollar day here, with a few exceptions, because almost everything here was $1. Okay, let's take a look. All right, what have we got? Let's start here. So these I just picked up today. Someone was nice enough to call me and actually ask, "Do you have this game?" And I said, "I do, but we only have the disc." He's like, "Well, come on in. It's all yours, my friend." So let's see what happened. He had this for us. Gauntlet 7 Sorrows. Alright, now I have gushed about Gauntlet Dark Legacy for the PS2. And mainly I've gushed over it for two reasons. It's really easy to learn how to play, and it has a great sense of humor. Now this game was made after Dark Legacy, and it was made in a time when Baldur's Gate was big, when Champions of Norath was big, when action RPGs were serious, okay? And Midway, which is usually not a very serious company, wanted to get in on that coin. And so they made Gauntlet 7 Sorrows. A game that takes itself extremely seriously. And while I haven't played it, I hear it gets bad rap. And I've never popped it in because it's like, am I going to play this or am I going to play Dark Legacy? Usually ends up being Dark Legacy every time. I should probably give it a shot. It's really cool. I mean, it looks good. And our copy's complete. And it's more than complete. It's complete plus because it's got a memory card in there too. So pretty hot. I also picked up a couple other games that were sitting on the rack. I picked up Call of Duty, World at War, Final Fronts, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, Raz, are you this desperate? You're picking up Call of Duty games from past systems? I mean, get over it. And you may be right, but it was the back that got me. It says right there in that orange word there, there's one orange word on the back. One single orange word. You know what that word is? Flamethrower. Right. Harness the power of a flamethrower. I'm a sucker for flamethrowers. What can I say? Shout outs to Mark on Classic Game Room. He's the one who started my addiction on that. Get out. Open up. So yeah, when I saw that, I had to go. So yeah. Okay. And then third, we had Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. Pretty good stuff. Sorry, I'm having issues. Okay. Which is basically a turn-based role-playing game that takes place in Middle-earth right around the time of the Fellowship of the Ring. And what's interesting here is looking at the back, it says journey through, what does it say? What was that? Adventure with friends in cooperative multiplayer mode. That's interesting, because this is a turn-based game, so it makes me wonder how multiplayer it is. Is it like one guy's navigating the world, and then in combat, everybody takes a turn? I don't know. So, these were 50 cents each. Can't go wrong there. Pretty nice. All in very nice shape. Call of Duty's missing the manual. Whatever. Okay, next. How did this happen? This is weird, because this was Salvation Army. Salvation Army sucks. Sorry. Mainly because they'll do things like... It depends on the location. I'll just put it that way. Like any place, it depends on the location. This place, I guess I got lucky. I walked in, and on the floor, amongst all the VHS tapes, and, you know, I don't know, waiting on DVD, there were actually some GameCube games. And... you know, they were like, okay, there was like, okay, oh my god, what is this doing here? Okay? So let's take a look. You got Harry Potter, Chamber of Secrets. Man, this one is like on every corner, but we just didn't have it. So I brought it up there. None of these had prices. So I was like, okay, well for now, let's just bring them up there. Okay? You got an excellent game, Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters, Melee. I love the title of this game. I think it rolls off the tongue so well. Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters, Melee. You got Godzilla giving a hay baler to Mechazilla. I mean, how can you go wrong? This is 4-player, just raising hell in Tokyo. We're going to play this one day. One day we'll head out to Japan and level it. What do we have here? Got GoldenEye, Rogue Agent. There were like a few of these on the GameCube, and I've never played any of them because it's like, I don't know. Why? I feel like at this point there were just so many first-person... Time Splitters got all my time. I just put it that way, okay? Time Splitters, if we're talking GameCube shooters, Time Splitters gets my time every time. Okay? So you can tell me if that one sucks or not. I have no idea. Another Bond game, which I believe we've picked up, but we picked up a really ratty disc only. This is in really nice shape. All of these, I think except Harry, all these had the manuals. All these are complete. You got 007, Everything is Nothing. Is it good? Is it everything or nothing? I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. For all I know, we have this. These things are like cockroaches in the hole. There's so many versions of them on so many platforms. but they're really good games. Like Hot Pursuit 2 is especially cool. You know, it's cops and robbers kind of stuff. So whenever it's cheap, it's like. And the problem is, if I knew, even if it was cheap, if I knew we had it, I wouldn't get it. But I never know if we have it because there's just so many versions of Need for Speed. There had to have been like 6 or 7 different ones of these in like the PS2 era, GameCube era. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't have it written down anywhere what we have. Now here's the one where I was like, oh my god, what is this doing? Because this was just a pass by, like. It was like I was on my way home. I think I even had food. But I still decided, and just stop here real quick. And just stop. And this was the reason to stop, my friends. Check it out. Custom effing Robo. Unbelievable to find this sitting on a shelf. This is a 4-player at the same time, customizable Mech Arena Battler. Is that a mouthful? Yeah, it's a mouthful. Check out the back. That'll give you an idea of all the options you can have on your mechs. And you're just riding around kind of Virtua On style, blowing each other away. I haven't played a lot of it, but it's always been on the list. It's always been high on the list. You know, we're at the point with the GameCube library where there's maybe 8 games that are like, you know, that would complete what we want for the hold. A lot of these are gravy. And they're gravy because when I brought them up and she charged them for $1 each. So we got all these for $1 each, including custom Robo. So, you know, I know I passed on this 10 million times. It was $1, so we'll go for it. The 007s are really in really nice shape, so why not? $1 each, pretty good stuff. And Hot Pursuit 2, even if you have 50 copies, it's still a lot of fun. So nice deals there. Alright. This is kind of why. This was like, here's the thing. If it's $1 and a cartridge, usually I'm going to go for it as long as it's not sports. And that's kind of where we're at with these. I think these were $1 each. They're no more than $1. They might have been 50, but if I'm not sure, if I'm not sure what the price is, I'm always going to go for the highest price. So these are, as far as I'm concerned, these were $1 each. Okay? Couldn't have been more. I wouldn't have paid more for $1 than these, but I could have paid less. I'll just put it that way. We'll just say $1. All right, so you got Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, looking blurry. Made by Black Games. Now, the PS2 one has a really bad rap. The Xbox one has a really bad rap, so I can only imagine what the Game Boy Advance version of a bad rap Lord of the Rings game is. I don't even know what genre this is. For all I know, it could be a 2D platformer. You got DK2, Donkey Kong Country 2, port of the SNES game. Pretty good. Widely considered the best of the 3 Donkey Kong Country games, but don't ask me. I only played through the first one. You got SpongeBob, and look, I'm sorry if I'm not going to bother with the autofocus. I don't really think it's worth it. You know what SpongeBob looks like, right? SpongeBob, Legend of the Lost Spatula. He's holding up a spatula there. That's adorable. The Game Boy Color, who knows what that's like. You got a little Yu-Gi-Oh here. You know, some dork decided to put a big label over the name, so I don't know what it's called. The Sacred Cat. The Sacred Card. That's probably what it is. Yu-Gi-Oh! Sacred Card. I don't know. Strategy game, probably. Crash Bandicoot's Big Adventure. Crash Bandicoot's Big Adventure. I'm pretty sure we had this floating in the hold already. And then finally, a game I certainly should have left. Rugrats. Time Travelers. Why, oh why, Cap'n Raz, would you buy this? Mainly because it says Time Traveler. Time Travelers. That's the only reason. I love time traveling games. I don't know what to tell you. Probably, I'm sure it's awful. It's probably just a 2D, but it's like, oh, it's Wild West Rugrats. Oh, it's got to be dinosaur. It's Reptar. It's just dinosaurs, I'm sure. The whole thing. Okay, so those are done. Take a look at this. What was that? How many of those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $6. So $1 each. Okay, so we got some Xbox 360s here. You know, I look. This pawn shop situation. Yeah, we put some games in there. I'm looking at these, and they look really nice, and they weren't priced. And this lady has done me okay in the past, but I didn't know what she was going to ask. You know, that's the thing about pawn shops. They're different on any day of the week. You could get the deal of the century or get utterly screwed. You always have to be on your toes. You need to know who to ask. You need to know that you need to fence the place. Really. You need to fence the place if you're going to get a deal. Okay? So let's take a look at these. You got Borderlands, the prequel. Vanilla. Probably not worth the disc it's printed on. Lightning Returns. Is this Final Fantasy? It says it's Final Fantasy 13. Really? Alright, fair enough. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. I think this is like the demo version of Metal Gear Solid 5. I know, you know, most of my pals have played it. And then finally, this is, I was happy to find this one. The Wolf Among Us, a Telltale Games. Pretty much the Telltale Games game that no one cares about. I brought these up. She's like, oh, those are new. And I'm like, oh, yeah? She's like, no, they're seriously new. I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, this lady comes in. She sells, she has like, I don't know, some sort of distribution thing. She has all these extra ones and she just gets rid of them. So these are like brand new. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I mean, I could tell they've got that new car smell. And she's like, how about $1 each? And I'm like, absolutely. And you know, that's the problem is when you're doing that scenario, because there was more there. More new ones, you know, that I would have grabbed had I known we were doing $1. But that's the thing with the pawn shops, you never know. So don't overplay your hand. Don't underplay it. I feel like I may have underplayed it a little bit here, but I didn't leave anything behind that was like totally awesome, okay? I was pretty happy with the Ground Zeroes, but none of these are like an astronomical deal. Okay, what's this thing, you may ask? So for $161, we find this thing. Okay? I mean, maybe you should start investing in gold, Raz, or something. Do something with your money. Okay? Why did I get this? This is an 8-track rack. Okay? Ever hear of an 8-track? It's like a plastic cassette tape before cassette tapes. That's how old it is. But you know what else this works really well for? Atari games. In fact, let me grab a couple here. A couple floating around over here. Hold on. Let's get a couple here. What do we got? We got E.T. and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Pop them in. Look at that. Perfect. Oh, perfect. You see that? Look at how easy they'll slip in there. So if I ever see these, and they interlock. I don't know if you can see that. These things, you could make a whole wall of them if you had enough. So those are pretty cool. If I see these, I always grab them. I think we have, you know, one about this size. It's so ridiculous though when you go into like retro shops, retro game stores. Sometimes they'll try and sell these for like $10. Get out of here! It's ridiculous. You know, you just no, too much. All right, how are we doing on time? Yeah, we're doing all right. Okay, so, did we do it all? Yeah, we did. Okay, so where are we at here? 161 for this thing. We'll just say $2. $6 for the Xbox 360s. Another $6 for the GameCube thing, so 12, 14. Got our GameCube stack over here. 16 GameCube, 6 games, 16, 22, and then $1.50 for these, 22, 23.50. Not bad. That's a pretty good lot. Okay, but you know what? It ain't it. You know, my sister, my dear sweet sister, she made me this. Blood, sweat, and tears. She made this. And she said, you know what? Now you got a chest that's big enough to fit in everything. Oh, my dear sweet sister. A little you know about old video games. They're very big. They're very bulky. And when a friend of mine, shout outs to Jose, gave me a call and said, hey, there's some stuff that I'm going to throw out. Do you want me to drop it off at the ship? I said, absolutely. I will take it. Okay, let's take a look at what Jose blessed us here at the Galleon with. It's an Atari smorgasbord, okay? Let's take a look here. He said, I got a 2600 for you. But this isn't any 2600, okay? This is what we in the retro world like to refer to as the Vader. It's a 2600 that doesn't have the brown paneling. Okay? You're used to seeing these things and they have that cheesy wood. I don't think it's cheesy, but a lot of people say the cheesy wood paneling, you know, that was on everything in the 70s. You'll notice that this one has not. And so it's been lovingly dubbed the Vader, which we didn't have. Very excited to find this guy. Is there any real difference between this and an original 2600? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's just called a Vader. That's, in my opinion, cool enough. You've got, really shocked to see, because he only said 2600. Maybe he didn't see this guy because it's so small. But here we have the 2600 Junior. Are you out of your mind? The 2600 Junior? This is great. Oh man, I could almost fit it in my pocket. How about that, huh? And you'll see in the back here, they were smart enough not to attach the wires, because on the Vader, you may have seen this big nasty cord hanging out of it. That's permanent. So if that cord breaks, the 2600's over. The Juniors, they were smart enough to stop that, so you can replace all these cords if you need to. Totally awesome. Totally awesome. All right, and then finally, the Behemoth. Are you kidding me? Look at the size of this. Here. Can it fit? Now. Oh, okay. No, it can't fit. All right, the Atari 5200. What can you say? We've seen it before. First Mate Bismuth is one of these in all its glory. Oh my lord. Yikes, what a monster. This thing here is to keep your controllers, which it doesn't have, but we actually have some spares that we picked up a long time ago. Here's an interesting thing. Did you know that these old systems actually accommodated 4 players? I didn't know about that. Being a Nintendo kid, I grew up with two ports in a system. So I was a little shocked to see that they're ready to go for a game like Warlords on one of these things. It's heavy. It's got a big cable hanging out of it that appears to be attached. And then he's got some other cords here. You know, the boring stuff, but, you know, I don't know what's going on with him. He said he had a 2600 and a 5200. Well, he's got two 2600s. He also said there were no cords. But here we are. We've got this thing for the 5200, which is, it may as well be the heart. If you don't have it, the 5200 is not going anywhere. Really, I mean, I'm not sure what these go for, but you're not going to get one for $5. I'll tell you that much. So that's pretty cool, because everyone needs one. You've got an AC adapter that probably works for the 2600s. Really happy to have this, because they're not as easy to find as, say, you know, the cords you need for a PlayStation or something. It's another bag here, which I haven't looked in. I know this is boring, but for anyone who does Atari, they're going to be like, but do you have that? Finally, looks like we have one more I mean, I'm hoping... I don't know what the 5200 AC adapter looks like, so this may be another 2600. Who knows? And then finally, this big old thing. This... I don't even know. Probably for the 52? If that's the case, then that's great, because that's a relatively easy male plug to find, I think. I couldn't tell you. This is probably for the 52. So it looks like the 52 may be incomplete. I don't know. So, but really neat. And in the whole box, the big old goose egg. Thank you. Thank you, Jose. Thank you to Adventure. So the whole deal we've seen here today, 23 bucks. Not bad. Okay, so let's get back to it. Let's get back to Hillsfar. Let's get back to Adventure. And oh look, what is it that I see here? Are we being approached by a rogue? Could it be? What are you talking about? A caped rogue approaches you and says, "Hello, I'm looking for work. I'm an expert locksmith. I will assist you in picking locks for your adventure for half the gold we find. Shall I hire him?" Well, let's see. I think we're going to hire him. Has this audio been running the whole time? This has been running the whole time, hasn't it? Sorry! Gah! It's the rogue's fault! Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna hire him. Is that stuff been running the whole time? I'm such a jerk. Okay. Well, it looks like you guys at least have heard me. We've got about 10 minutes left in the voyage. I want to show you this arena over here. You see that Coliseum? So this is not for me. I'm probably gonna get... I don't have to... I just want to check it out. We're just gonna look. I'm not gonna enter it. Yeah, and the arena. Do I wish to fight in the arena? No. We're not gonna fight in the arena. We'll go run around a little bit. But again, that's cool. You know, there's a mage's shop, a mage's tower, which I've never even been in because I've never played a magician. I mean, look at all the layers going on here. You have all these doors that you can either, you know, rob as a fighter, rob as anyone, really. I'm just not going to do it because I'm boring. All right, so here's the stables. I'd like to ride out of town. Do I wish to enter? No. All right, so you have all these options here. Oh, there's a shipwreck. Can we get to the shipwreck? Oh man, we got to go check out the ship. This is awesome. Now there are quests, and we could have picked one up, but we really don't have time for that. But every class has their own respective quests. There's magical items you can pick up. You've seen there's an economy system. There's weapon shops, magic. I bit it. Trust me, I'm like an absolute expert for that being the first time that's happened. Most people would be banging their head. Oh, there's no way. Oh, I'm amazing! That was too late. Oh my God! I can't believe I'm making duck. Whew. We're almost there, I think. I am at the shipwreck. Yes, I'd like to enter the shipwreck. And so there's, you know, no rhyme or reason. Just go in. Let's check it out. Now, we've got that rogue with us. If we see something like this... Yeah, I'm going to pick it. Now, look at this. You've got lock picking, which there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. I'm not even... Oh, I snapped the pick. I don't know which one of these does it. Ugh. I'm just a cleric. I thought the rogue was going to do this. Did I not hire him? Oh. Oh, I got one of them. Oh, I see where it happens. I'm not... Look, I'm just a cleric, okay? Now, you see time remaining. That's how much time you can spend in the dungeon before the guard... Ugh. And their pitfalls. Oh, but it wasn't far at all. No, I won't open it. I'm just gonna saw a couple other chests over here. Now that's the pitfall that I fell into. No, I'm not going to pick it. I will open it. Am I going to get trapped? What? Oh, don't I have a stupid rogue to get it? Do not try to open this lock. Okay. Well, at least I had the option not to do it. Oh, come on. Another... Wow, these are like right here. We pick it? No. I will try to open it. There's not... I can't, because I don't have any of these things. Oh, I fell in there again. What's in this one? Let's see if I can pick it. Okay, so it's this one. Flip it, use it. What do you mean it's jammed? It's working fine. Okay, there you go. Wow, now that I'm kind of understanding this... No, it's not that one. Oh, I bet it's this one. Nope. Oh, that one's broken, so... I'm not going to be able to do this at all. Can I get out? Yeah, I can. Alright. Yeah, alright. Let's head back to Hillsfar and then we'll wrap up. So yeah, there's stuff to do. And look, I know I'm sucking at the lockpicking, but you know, it's like, oh, too late to leave. The guards are right outside because they heard me because of the lockpicking. So I have to find another way out. What? There is no other way out. Let me out. Is there another way out, sir? Oh my god. I think if I let time remaining, then the guards will show up. Yeah, I'm done with this. I'm done with lockpicking. Okay. Sorry, I'm out. And I think we're out of time, so I think we're gonna... Oh, the exit cannot be found. Okay. So now where's the exit? Oh, jeez, there's a guard. Go in the hole. If we go in the hole, then we should be able to find our way out. Nope. Ugh, no. No! Leave me alone, you stupid chest. No. No. Oh my god. Are you guys enjoying the bumbling? Stupid bumbling cleric. I don't know what that was. What was it? Let's grab it. Oh, I stunned him. Okay, cool. So now we should be able to get out. Yep, there it is. Very small dungeon, but a lot going on in there. No, I wish to head back to Hillsfar. Alright, we'll get us back to town, and we'll wrap up. We got enough time for this. Oops. As long as I don't botch it. Because if you anger your horse enough, jeez, he'll run away on you. And then you're stranded. And the surrounding roads of Hillsfar do not take kindly to lonely travelers. Oh. Hang in there, horsey. And the horses have names, and they have different stats. I mean, there's you know, a lot of ways to specialize your character for an 8-bit game, and it just gets such a bad rap because it's like, the horse racing sucks. Yes. All right, so we'll stop here. Even though I want to do archery one more time. All right, so there you go. That's Hillsfar. Man, I'm such an idiot. Was that stupid medieval 8-bit music going on through the entire booty segment? Dumbass. Dumas! Okay. We're wrapping up here. Let's see if we have a question over here. We do. This comes from Maviax. How are you, Maybe X? Thanks for the question. Maybe X says, Dear Cap and Raz, you would be welcome to steer your ship into necrocraft waters. Okay. Where you can build a mighty fleet and rule the oceans of Minecraft. 150 mods, a bit of something for everyone. What is this, some kind of advertisement? Typical. All right. We have any other questions? I don't think so. Oh, here we go. Thoughts on Forsaken? Favorite Dragonlance character? Oh, favorite Dragonlance character. That's a good question. Well, let's see. Raceland usually is on the tips of everyone's lips. How can he not be? The Brooding Mage, the Red Robes, and, you know, in the end he wins, kind of. You got Tasselhoff, who's always, you know, pouring water on the embers. Probably Flint, obviously, maybe. Flint Fireforge. We're getting back to Dragonlance, which we talked about earlier. Flint Fireforge was a dwarf. There wasn't anything particularly special about him, but he was kind of the older, wiser character, and he was able to keep things light now and then too. So yeah, probably Flint, which is weird because I never played dwarves. But that rogue is back. I turned your music off. Okay, you're done. Stop flipping your coin. You're not joining the party. I think he abandoned us too, because why was I picking locks? Wasn't he supposed to do that? Whatever. So yeah, thanks for the question, Maybe X. If you and the plug. if you have a question or comment, please feel free to leave it as a comment or write to gaminggalleon@gmail.com. We'll drop it in the old bag that tells no tales for you. And you can be on the ship with us. Okay, so that's it, I think. It was a great voyage. I've been waiting a long time to play a little D&D with you guys. I appreciate you playing with me. What character would you pick? Who would you be in Hillsfar? And what would you do? I leave you with that question as I sail off into the sunset. We'll see you next time. I want you to come back with your cutlass. I want you to come back with your favorite video games. And I want you to come back with your imagination. Because without it, this old tub of ours ain't going nowhere. See you next time. Until then, farewell and adieu to ye Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, ye ladies of Spain, for we received orders for to sail off to Hillsfar, and we may never see ye fair ladies again. Keep your powder dry and your pencils sharpened.